Welcome to an Arista Sunscreen Moment. And I'm Dave Dacey, and this Louisville Slugger is
Sherry Ronco.
And we're both with Witham Smith & Brown's Employee Benefit Plans Services Group. Thanks for joining me today, Sherry.
Thanks, Dave.
You know, it's play ball for baseball teams all over the United States of America. And you know how you win championships? You win them with the fundamentals. What do you think about that, Sherry?
Well, Dave, I don't know much about the fundamentals of baseball, but I do know about the fundamentals of 401k plans.
Well, that's something I could really get excited about. So let's talk about fundamentals for a 401k plan. And let's kick it off with a particular topic. Let's talk about employer contributions and specifically mandatory versus discretionary contributions. Are you game?
I'm game.
What exactly is the difference between a mandatory contribution and a discretionary contribution?
Well, Dave, a mandatory contribution is a fixed rate or percentage in the plan document. A discretionary contribution is more vague, and it gives the plan sponsor the flexibility to choose the amount year to year.
Okay, so you brought up an interesting point. You brought up plan document. What makes a mandatory contribution mandatory and a discretionary contribution discretionary as it relates to the plan document?
Well, it really comes down to the wording in the plan document. The discretionary contribution element would just allow for such a contribution, whereas the mandatory contribution would be very descriptive in the plan document and doesn't give the plan sponsor any leeway to change or make any alterations away from that plan document.
And it really doesn't give it any leeway because in the eyes of the Department of Labor and everybody who's involved in the 401k plan, the plan document is essentially a contract between the plan sponsor and the participants in the plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's go to a different question. What's better for a plan?
Well, the discretionary contribution allows management to change the contribution from year to year, and really, they can always be in compliance with the plan document. When you have a mandatory contribution, if things just aren't going well that year and the plan sponsor can't make that contribution, well, they run the risk that they're not going to be in compliance with the plan document.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So it's a discretionary contribution gives you flexibility, and it gives you an opportunity to make less mistakes because it's not as rigid as it relates to the operations of the plan.
Exactly, and you always want to be in compliance with your plan document.
You know, that sounds like a real home run to me. There's no question. Getting back to the baseball theme a little bit. So with that said, happy spring training, happy fundamentals, and this has been an Arista Sunscreen Moment. Use it and don't get burned.